This presentation relates to conservation works which were carried out to the Arch at Gloster in the summer of 2018. Gloster House is located in County Offaly, south of Burtown, off the N62. The Arch is one of the follies featured in the book Flights of Fancy, Follies, Families and Domains in Offaly, which was launched in 2017. Following on from that publication, we have sought to encourage conservation works on follies within the county as part of an annual programme. Gloster House was home to the Lloyd family for over 3 centuries, from 1639, when Trevor Lloyd married Margaret, the sole heiress of landholder Francis Metop, and ending with the sale of the estate by Major Lloyd in 1958. It was the marriage of their son, Metop Lloyd, in 1696 to Hannah Lovett that brought the work of Ireland's leading architect, their first cousin, Sir Edward Lovett Pearce, to Offaly. Sir Edward Lovett Pearce is involved in many significant projects in Ireland, including Cuba Court in Banagher, County Offaly, Castletown House in Kildare, and Parliament House in College Green, Dublin. Metop and Hannah's only surviving son, also named Trevor, is responsible for the remodelling of Gloster House in the early 18th century. He is seen here resplendent in a rich blue, as painted by Irish portrait painter Charles Jarvis in 1730. Maurice Craig referred to Gloster as one of the candidates for buildings in some way connected to Pearce. The resulting house is composed of a long, imposing facade, joyful sandstone carvings, and a rich, exuberant interior. Each of the square-headed window openings have carved stone architrave surrounds with a mascaron, also known as a mask, forming the keystone. Trevor Lloyd died in 1747, and John Wesley, who visited the grounds 2 years later, remarked on the beautiful seat built by an Englishman who had scarcely finished his house and laid out his gardens when he was called to his everlasting home. The folly is majestically sited on rising ground, closing the vista from what is now the dining room. It has been termed by Mark Bence-Jones as without doubt by Pearce. Of all the follies in Offaly, the Arch at Gloster is unashamedly architectural, one which embraces the surrounding terrain, providing a bold theatrical flourish as it highlights the extent of the Lloyd's landscaped park. Barbara Jones, who wrote the book Follies and Grottos, describes the Gloster example as a very nice folly indeed, a friendly and charming object with careful square mouldings about 20 feet high. It was designed by Sir Edward Lovett Pearce as a vista closer at the end of a clairvoyant from the house. The Arch formed part of a 2013 survey of 11 follies in Offaly, commissioned by Offaly County Council, carried out by Howley Hayes and funded by the Heritage Council. It was described by Howley Hayes as a folly with sophisticated classical detailing, an early use of the obelisk form, which frames the countryside, making this a most impressive eye-catcher and a garden building of the first order. He states that the structure is of national importance for its architectural quality and its association with Ireland's greatest architect of the 18th century. This image, taken prior to conservation works, shows the folly consisting of a fine rubble-stone archway with an oculus, or circular opening, piercing the gable above the arch. It is flanked by gentle tapering obelisks, which stand on niched pedestals on either side. The overall appearance is one of great sophistication in its detail and proportions. By 2018, the folly had all but disappeared into engulfing vegetation and was covered in a mantle of ivy. The images show elements of the folly prior to conservation works, the oculus over the arch and obelisk below, the plinth and niche. The current owners purchased the estate in 2001 and have carried out a programme of meticulous repairs to Gloster House. In 2018, they made the decision to conserve the folly. Funding became available through the Built Heritage Investment Scheme, the Follies Trust, who've worked on a number of projects in Offaly, the Apollo Foundation and Creative Ireland, along with owner funding and assistance provided by Offaly County Council. Creative Ireland have agreed annual funding for the conservation of follies in Offaly for a 5-year period. A conservation engineer was engaged and a method statement generated indicating what work should be undertaken and detailing how they should be carried out. The first phase of works saw the careful removal of ivy and their roots treated to prevent regrowth. A detailed photographic record was made before, during and after the works. The removal of the ivy revealed the full extent of the adjoining sweeping wing walls for the first time in decades, and the extent of the damage to some sections. The repair of these walls was completed as part of the conservation project. The folly was stabilised and the stonework was repointed with a lime mortar colour matched to the original. The before and after photographs captured the extraordinary work carried out by a team of skilled craftsmen under the guidance of conservation personnel to secure Gloster Arch for future generations.